tale of palpable violence. Sherry straddled Brom in the back seat of her father's '82 Cadillac Coupe de Ville, Brom's sweaty back sticking to the leather interior as a Prince song played on the radio. The couple was riding high on a raw, inhibited energy that summer night. They pawed at each other madly, soul kissing, as if they hadn't been in each other's constant company since graduation. Sherry's finger slid down the foggy window, leaving 5 long streaks on the glass. The song faded out as a DJ broke in with the top of the hour news. The couple ignored it. They weren't about to let talk of the weather and spaghetti charity dinners get in the way of their fun. A minute into his spiel, though, the DJ's voice grew grim and he uttered the words, "Mass killers," jolting the couple from their hazy reverie. Schuyler County Sheriff Buck Avery stated that police traded fire with the suspects earlier today, ending a week of silence from the perpetrators. Authorities had previously believed that the cutthroat clowns, known for their distinctive rubber Halloween masks, left the state following their last violent outburst at a drive-in movie theater. The suspects managed to escape in the countryside during the battle with the sheriff's deputies. State and local police are combing the area south of Odessa, where the killers were reportedly last spotted by a gas station attendant. With the gunman at large, the sheriff has advised those in the area to stay inside and avoid the roads. The station then cut to a previously recorded interview with the sheriff. The perpetrators are extremely dangerous, seemingly targeting their victims at random. They have zero regard for human life and have left a long trail of dead to prove it. We are in pursuit of these heinous criminals and will apprehend them swiftly. Sherry pulled Braun back toward her, but he resisted. Christ, babe, hold on. Didn't you just hear that? She nodded, then playfully tugged at his t-shirt. So what? You're not the least bit worried? Did you catch the part about them looking south of Odessa? The wicked look in her eyes faded to one of mild irritation. I heard it, but I'm not scared. Brahms sat up and adjusted his shirt. I think we should head back to your parents' place. I don't feel safe here. Sherry leaned into the front seat and turned the radio off. She returned to her boyfriend and ran her hands over his chest and arms. Come on, Brom. Do you want to fuck me or not? But all of her prodding and cajoling weren't enough to get Brom's body to cooperate. His fear was too great for even her force of personality to overcome. Soon she relented, and they climbed back into the front seat. Brom pulled out and drove them down the country roads leading to her parents' farmstead. After a few minutes traveling, a vehicle pulled up within a few car lengths of the Cadillac, its high beams shining brightly in their rearview mirror. What's up with this guy? I'm going 10 over the speed limit, said Brom. He's just being a dick, said Sherry. Brom drove on silently, trying to ignore the irritating light in his mirror. As they worked their way down the winding country road, the unknown vehicle periodically flashed its headlights off and on, as if signaling to them. What the hell does this guy want? Said Brom, his voice trembling. He thought about what he had heard on the radio. He probably wants us to pull over so we can slice off our heads, said Sherry, grinning. Brom didn't laugh. It's fine. Just pull over and we'll tell them to fuck off. Pull over? Sherry grabbed his thigh and dug her sharp nails into his jeans. Pull over. Okay, said Brom, grimacing from the pain. Sherry smirked. He guided the car onto the dirt shoulder, and the other vehicle stopped directly behind. Brom watched in the rearview mirror as a figure got out of the other car and headed toward his driver's side window. He's dressed like a cop, said Brom. Why didn't he turn his flashers on? There are unmarked cars without flashers. My uncle was a detective, and his car didn't have flashers, said Sherry, her voice devoid of its usual air of certainty. The figure approached and knocked on Brom's window, shining a flashlight inside. Brom looked at Sherry apprehensively and rolled the window down a few inches. Where are you two headed? Asked the uniformed man. Sir, are you a cop? Asked Brom. Yes. Sherry leaned over Brom and challenged the man. Can we see your badge or something? The man retrieved his identification and placed it against the window. The words Deputy Privateer were printed next to a plain photo of the man. Where are you two headed? He asked again. Deputy, you understand, there are killers out here shooting people up, and usually when a cop pulls you over, it's with flashing lights and sirens, said Sherry. The deputy nodded. Anyway, we're going to my daddy's house on Beardsley Hollow Road. I see. The deputy walked around the Cadillac, shining his light inside and around the vehicle. He stopped for a brief moment at the back of the car. Brom looked nervously at his girlfriend, wondering what the cop was up to. The deputy returned a half-minute later to Brom's cracked window. You two go straight home and stay there. As you probably know, there are some sick people out tonight. He tipped his hat and returned to his car. The car peeled out, kicking up dirt and rocks from the dusty road. What the hell was that? Said Brom. Sherry just shrugged, and they drove back to her parents' house without incident. They pulled into her long forested driveway with their windows down and the radio off. All they could hear was the sound of the Cadillac's tires rolling over asphalt. Brom stopped the car in front of the detached garage. Before getting out of the car, Sherry reached under her seat and tossed Brom an extra-large mask with purple hair. Then she donned her own, which featured bright red pigtails and rosy cheeks. Brom paused as she handed him a pistol she had stolen from her father's safe the week before. Do we really have to kill your mom and dad, Sherry? Of fucking course we do, she whispered in her usual scathing tone. Brom shrugged and followed her toward the house. They were nearly to the front porch when all hell broke loose. Blinding lights flashed on and shone from every direction. A gruff male voice shouted out some kind of command, and a moment later, gunfire erupted from multiple points of ambush, decimating Sherry and Brom. The couple had no time to process what had occurred as their bullet-ridden bodies crumpled together on the cold driveway. An officer had to call a halt to the firing as the men and women in uniform had continued to empty their magazines into the teenagers well past any point of reason. Seize your fucking fire! Exclaimed Sheriff Avery. We got him! Several officers swarmed in and disarmed the deceased, handcuffing them out of habit. God damn, Privateer, are you gonna read them their rights now? Asked Avery, laughing at the rookie. You can probably see through them at this point. He walked over to where the young deputy was standing and placed his hand on the rookie's shoulder. You did the right thing, son. They would have executed you if you had given them the chance. These two right here are animals. Avery nudged Brom's corpse with his foot. Yes, sir. I just wasn't sure if they would really come back here, and I didn't want them to go off and kill any more innocent people, replied Privateer. He was still on edge from his solo pullover not a half hour before. You gotta take risks, kid. You spotted that purple clown here under the seat, you took a risk, and we got him. So don't worry about what might have or could have happened, replied Avery. There's no time for second guessing in our line of work. He spit on Sherry's masked face and walked off. The other deputies and state police left their perches and hiding spots and gathered around. They congratulated the rookie cop and each other on a job well done.